weightlifting and Muay Thai are disciplines of repetition. It means you repeat and repeat over and over until the skills that you learn become instinctual skills. So it takes 4 years to form a fighter, and there is no way around it. Now, if it takes 4 years, how come some fighters train for 10, 12, 15 years and show very little sign of development? 90% of all fighters the world over are not taught right. 90% of all fighters, amateurs and professionals. That's what my mentor, Daryl Pierre, used to tell me when I was under his tutelage. So 90% might sound a little drastic of a number, right? But when you get familiar with the game itself, you will realize very clearly that most fighters are not really aware of what they're doing in the ring. So, if 90% of all fighters are not taught right, how come do they still win fights? How come do they even become champions? Because this is fighting. This is not a sport. In a fight, you can still win this, even if you have sub-level skill set. You can bet on your physicality, on your athleticism, and for example, there's a lot of ways you can play that. For example, if you have power, let's say you're very strong in the power department, you can drain yourself and fight in a lower weight division when your power will be even more efficient. Or if you're a one-trick pony, let's say you have just the left hook to the body, you can say, okay, I'm going to accept to take a lot of punishment just for the chance to land that single left hook of mine that is so good and is going to bait me out of most of the fights. So in other words, in fighting, you can always win this as long as you and your opponent are of the same side. But it will cost you. It will cost you in terms of the punishment that you will have to sustain. If you decide to fight purely on physicality, purely on guts, instinct, and courage and determination, you will have to pay a heavy price, which is on your health. Most of the fighters who still fight at high level past their mid-30s manage to do so because they have become masters of ring generality. It means that they know exactly what they're doing at every single moment in the ring, and that allows them to minimize the risk of punishment. So, come with me. There are rules to this game. Every move, every specific combination has its time, its place, and its reason to be in the ring. Establish this authentic foundation when you know exactly what's going on at all times, and you will not only minimize the risk of punishments that you're going to take in your life as a fighter, but also already have an advantage on 90% on your competition, whatever the level you're fighting at. This is called to be fundamentally sound. So, you say that it takes 4 years to form a fighter and there's no way around it. So what can you do for me in 10 days? What we do here in 10 days is to set you up with a toolbox. In this toolbox, you will find a set of clear and precise techniques, a set of strong principle, clear principle, and a strong methodology. This toolbox will allow you to develop on your own. These are the same techniques, principle, and methodology that were transmitted to me by my mentors and that were transmitted to them by their own trainers. So nothing new here. It's just that, just like anything in life, what is good is hard to come by. So when this tool set, the code, is implemented, you still need to put in the labor of repetition. Remember, it takes 4 years to form a fighter. So what we do here, we need to make sure that when you leave the seminar, you are able to self-train, to become your own trainer. And you will see that you will be able to develop much more efficiently and much quicker than if you were training conventionally. In other words, what we do here is giving you a fishing rod so you can go fishing on your own.